You're a dead man, Ramsey.
If you get that reference, we can be friends. What's going on, everybody? S.L.B coming at you with another video review, and this time we're taking a look at S.H. Figuarts WWE Superstar Series The Undertaker. And here he is in his packaging. Very nice clamshell packaging, clear in the front there. You see the figure, the dead man, the Undertaker logo. Here's a product shot of him. It's officially licensed by WWE. On this side of the packaging, you just have a product shot. On this side of the packaging, you just have the continuation of this picture plus another product shot. Top of the packaging just says Undertaker. Right there. Bottom of the packaging just says Undertaker. On the back of the packaging, you just have some more product shots. You can do the Tombstone Pile Driver, the Dead Man. Also some figures in the series. The Rock, I already have Stone Cold, Triple H, and I'm going to get to him later. And that's pretty much it for the packaging. There's a bunch of stuff on here I cannot read. So let's get him out of the packaging and see what he looks like in hand. So here we have Undertaker out of the packaging, and let's go over a few things that are included in the packaging. Instructions, for some reason. Some figures need instructions, much stuff I can't read, blah, blah, blah. He comes with some accessories and additional parts. I'll get into that when I get into right before my final thoughts. So let's get in close on the details really quickly of this guy. And this guy looks okay for the Undertaker. He's got some pretty good eyes painted in there right there. They did a really good job of painting his goatee, his facial hair right there. Really nice work on the tattoos on both arms. Some right here, as well as some in the forearm right here. And some other tattoos on this arm. They're kind of hard to make out, but if you look at them really closely, you can kind of make them out. And he also does have tattoos in his neck right there. I don't know if you can see that. There's that better. He's got a tattoo there. Let's get the hair out of the way. And a tattoo right there. I'll show those off. When I swap out the head, I'll show you what they look like. He's a very plain figure, which is kind of a letdown, in my opinion, with SH Figuarts. The Undertaker's had numerous wardrobes and outfits for his matches, and they just kind of left it a blank black canvas. I'll get into more of that when I get into my final thoughts. But the hair is pretty nicely done. I'll give it that. Down here, up here, not so much. It's just a little bit sculpted, which is kind of a shame, in my opinion. So let's get into articulation. The head, underneath the head is a ball joint. You can do a full 360. You cannot look up and down all that. You can kind of look up a little bit. Can't look down all that well. At the base of the neck, there is another ball joint, and good luck. You know, this is pretty loose, so in order to, you can do the chicken head, but that's pretty much it. These shoulders right here are very articulated, but it's very unnatural looking. Just because of the gap issue and everything. And there's a way, in my opinion, to rectify this, but I'll get more into that when we get into the final thoughts. As you can see, this section has more black than this one, which is kind of a bummer in my opinion, but the shoulders right here are on a hinge, can go out that far, and they can also do a full 360, and there's a joint to kind of push it to pretty much dislocate a shoulder. No bicep swivel. You can get there's a double bend at the elbow, but you can only get right about a little bit over 9 degrees. But something that scares me is that there's a swivel at the elbow, which is very scary. Right there. The wrists are on a ball joint and a hinge, so you can get some good range of movement in the wrists. Moving on to the midsection, you can get some back and forth there, right underneath the chest area, and a little bit of turning there. This is a natural point of articulation right here, I think. And I think that's pretty good range of movement there. He's got at the waist section, you can go back that far. Can't really go forward all that much, but you can get some good ab crunch. Like you just got punched in the solar plexus right there. The hips, very unnatural posability with these. Can go that far, but that's pretty much it. And that's if you bring the hip down, but if you leave the hip up, you can't. You can only do it like that. That's very unnatural and not very lifelike at all. But they can go out pretty far on their own like that. So there's a pretty decent spread right there, if you will. No swivel at the thigh or underneath the knee, but you do get a little bit of swivel at the hip. Great double bend at the knee there. Let's see, here's one of the things that scares me. There is a swivel at the ankle, but it's right above this joint right here. And that's going to put a lot of tension on this hinge and the connections to the hinge, connecting it to, you know, the leg and the foot and everything. So that's kind of scary in my opinion, but that's just my opinion. You do get a bend at the ankle. Can go. That's a great bend right there, if I do say so. You do also get a little bit of a rocker on it, as well as some toe articulation, which is pretty good. So that is that for articulation. Now let's get into the accessories that are included with him. If we can get him standing in a pretty natural way, which is kind of difficult. There we go. Okay, so what's included? You do get his signature hat. And there is a specific way to put this on, as you can see. Let me get Mr. Pointer Spudger here. This section is shorter than this one, so you want the long section facing the front, and it just rests on there pretty good. It kind of looks a little too big for his head, but then again, the Undertaker always had, his hats were always a little on the big side, so I think that works. I think that looks great. It gives him that iconic look. I would have liked it if this was the brim of the hat was maybe had like a little wire bit, maybe a softer plastic with a bit of a wire in there to give it a little bit of bend so you can kind of move it around a little bit, but that's just me. And not some great molded detail in here. It's just got a little bit of a ridge right here, and that's it. There's no real, it's all plastic. There's no paint to it whatsoever. So moving on, we'll get into his many faces. First face you will do is the grinning with the eyes looking sideways. Why they look sideways, I have no idea. It just looks weird to me. He almost looks a little cross-eyed if you look at him in a weird way, but there's that. The teeth are really picked out nicely, nice bright white. No bears in the cave, so we're good. You do get these signature eyes in the back of the head look. And the funny thing is, you can even, on all the faces, you can even pick out the eyeliner that the Undertaker wears, which is pretty funny. There's that. And also you get the tongue sticking out, eyes in the back of the head look with a bit of hair going there. And I know his tongue is longer than this, so it's okay. But the tongue is painted nicely if you're into that kind of thing. So there's that. To swap out the heads, we'll just get into that really quickly. It's just really simple. He's just got a ball joint. Just pop it off. And we'll give him the eyes in the back of the head look. And this is kind of a pain to do. Before I do that, let's show off the neck tattoos. Yeah, this is... Anywho, he's got a neck tattoo here and a neck tattoo there. So there. And they also didn't put the Sarah tattoo on his throat, which is good job, S.H. Figuarts. This is a more recent Undertaker. So there is that. Ball joint. Connect tab A into slot B, and there you go. It's a pretty tight connection. Looks pretty cool. Works very well. So there is that for his heads. Now to move on to his hands, you do get 2 open hands here with his MMA gloves and white tape underneath, and the hands are articulated. You can open and close them. Ooh! I just dropped that hand. Come back here, hand. Oh, come back here. Okay. All right, there's that. So here's the hand. Dog hair sold separately. And both hands, as I was saying, can open and close. They are articulated. They may loosen up over time just due to the paint wearing off, but it is what it is. And you do also get the thumbs up hand to do the signature taunt of The Undertaker with his throat, finger going over his throat. And it's just a simple swap. It's just a ball joint. Just pop off the hand. Take the new one. Insert tab A into slot B. I said slot B. There we go. And there you go. And A. There you go. So that is that. I mean, you can do, like I said, the finger over the throat thing and all that. So let's take that off. That looks ridiculous. Let's put on the correct hand. Let's just give him the open hand here. So there you go. Let's get into some comparisons with him. Here he is with S.H. Figuarts Stone Cold Steve Austin. And The Undertaker is a bit taller than Stone Cold, not by much, so this is my one issue with them. Scale doesn't matter with S.H. Figuarts. I think Undertaker's a lot taller than Stone Cold. I think Stone Cold was maybe in the upper 5 feet, lower 6 feet, where Undertaker's mid 6 feet. Maybe 6'6", 6'7". Stone Cold, 6 feet at the most, I think. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. I don't have the exact height differences in front of me, but there's that. So that's the one issue I have with S.H. Figuarts figures, is scale. But they look pretty good together, I should say. And for another comparison, here he is next to the Dragon Star Vegeta, just to show you guys what they look like together. There's that. And for one more comparison, here he is next to a 3 3/4 inch Captain Marvel Universe Captain America. If he will stand up, and he will not, so he's going to fall over. But there you go. So let's get his hat back on, and let's get into the final thoughts for S.H. Figuarts The Undertaker. So, final thoughts for the figure. This figure is a letdown, in my opinion. Like I said earlier, The Undertaker has had numerous wardrobes and attires for in-ring competition, and they went with just a black singlet with pants. There's no Undertaker logo on the thigh like he's had in the past. There's no Undertaker logo on the boots like he's had in the past. The way to rectify, in my opinion, hiding this would be to give him maybe the Attitude Era attire, where it was sleeveless, but it was kind of right about here. I'll throw a picture right over there of what it looked like. All of the main issues I have are the fact that this looks unnatural. The articulation looks unnatural, in my opinion, as well as the hips. He's very plain. He's very boring. The face looks like The Undertaker. The tattoos look like The Undertaker. You know, the hair, the hat, it all looks like The Undertaker, except for everything else. It just looks like a basic wrestling figure. I guess what I'm kind of saying with this figure it's a letdown. I was excited to get it. I'm kind of disappointed in it. That's just my opinion. What's your opinion? Let me know if you guys have it. This figure in the comment section down below. Leave a thumbs up if you like this video. Share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Find me on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. All that information will be in the description down below. This is S.L.B, and this has been my review of S.H. Figuarts WWE Superstar Series Undertaker. And this is S.L.B saying, my childhood hates me. You know, I keep getting these messages from Jed and Levy and Mike and Brother Kyle and everybody. And it's like, I'm trying to do a review, guys. Come on. Stop messaging me. Love you guys.